Democrats' desperation is getting worse. Trump's SAVE Act. Democrats have come up with every reason in the book to express to Americans of how bad it is if it goes through. Said we're going back to the times of Jim Crow where black people will not be able to vote.
It will also prevent minorities from voting.
Then they said black people are not smart enough to use a computer.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
Then they said married women would have a hard time voting.
I mean, I literally talk about discouraging people from voting. Women who've changed their names that don't match their birth certificate, their marriage name, married name doesn't match their birth certificate, their license doesn't match their birth certificate. This is nonsensical.
So first it discriminated against poor people. It excluded them from voting. Then it excluded black people. Then they said it heavily impacted married women. Now the latest is these married women in this day and age just don't have the time to get all of their paperwork changed over to where it should be by law.
And the SAVE Act, it impacts millions of women who change their last names after marriage, many of them who are mothers who are incredibly busy. They don't have time to track down extra paperwork.
The SAVE Act is about confidence. It's about making sure every legal vote counts and no one can reasonably question whether non-citizens slipped in. After 2020 and all the debates, trust in elections is shaky. Requiring citizenship proof when you register, something you do in person with verifiable documents, restores that trust without suppressing legitimate voters. Democrats know this. That's why their pushback isn't, "This solves a problem that doesn't exist." But yet their argument is, this hurts busy moms and minorities. It's painting basic security as racism or sexism. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations all over again. Like back when some opposed voter ID because poor people or black voters supposedly couldn't get an ID to buy a beer or board a plane, but somehow could manage everything else in life? And if we're serious about democracy, we should want elections that are secure and beyond reproach, not ones where the rules bend because someone might be inconvenienced for a day at the DMV or a county clerk's office. So yeah, that MSNBC clip, it's not just funny in a sad way. It's revealing. It shows exactly how low the bar has gotten for some politicians when defending a system that should belong to citizens only. But what do you think? Is asking for proof of citizenship really that outrageous? Or is this just another excuse to keep the system loose? And we all know why Democrats opened the borders and let all these illegal migrants in. It's to participate in elections because they were losing their base. They've let millions and millions of illegals into the country. Many Americans have lost their lives. So they don't want all that to go to waste. They want them all to have the free health care, they want them all to have the free housing and free food stamps, and they want to grant them all mass amnesty, and they want them all to vote in the elections. And Democrats are like, hey, don't forget who fed you, don't forget who fought for you. And we Americans are like, yeah, we remember who you fought for and who you didn't fight for. What excuse will they come up with next? And name changes after marriage happens millions of times a year. Women handle updating driver's licenses, social security cards, taxes, mortgages, you name it. If they can do all that without the sky falling, they can bring a marriage certificate to bridge the gap for voter registration. And for minorities, voter ID laws have already been in place in dozens of states, including ones with high minority turnout. And studies show no widespread suppression. Turnout keeps going up. The real suppression would be letting non-citizens dilute citizen votes. Every illegal vote cancels out a legal one. The Senate is stalling because Democrats threaten the filibuster. Betting Republicans won't go nuclear to change the rules. Betting markets give it low odds of passing, around 12 to 17% chance of becoming law. But that's exactly why we need to keep that heat on. As if this fails, it's not because the bill's bad, it's because the establishment doesn't want secure elections, aka the swamp. They want the system loose enough to exploit. So patriots, don't let this die quietly. Call your senators, tell them, no more excuses. Proof of citizenship isn't racism, it's not sexism, it's common sense. It's protecting every legal vote, including yours. But these have been my thoughts, not yours. Let's hear what you're thinking. Do you think the SAVE Act is racist or sexist, or is it common sense? I appreciate you watching. You have a great day.